I'm losing my mind. Hi guys, it's Evelina here. Today's video is going to be slightly different from what I normally do. I thought long and hard about making this video, but then I decided to do it anyway. God, where do I begin? First of all, yes, I cut my hair. It is all completely chopped off. I pretty much went to the salon and I chopped like a foot of it off. Ugh, that's not cute. And a lot of you guys asked me on Snapchat and Twitter, why did I do this? Why did I cut my hair? Honestly, my hair was pretty dead. I was bleaching it for a really long time now, and it's always been so healthy and so amazing. But this past year and last year, I'm gonna get into this later, I've been going through a lot of stress and a lot of stuff, so like my hair literally started breaking off. So I decided to chop it all off. Plus, I just wanted something different. I've never ever in my life had my hair this short. So it kind of feels weird. It's like a mixture between feeling like a little boy and also like a high fashion person. So yeah, I like it. So the reason for this video is because I've been getting a lot of comments like this. And while I think it's super flattering and super sweet and there's not a single bad malicious intent behind those kinds of comments, I just wanted to make a video to kind of diffuse that or explain a little bit why I don't think that people should perceive me as that person. Now I know Sina O'Neill, is that her name? She made a video kind of like on the subject, but it was completely different. She was talking about how she was paid to promote all these products that she didn't believe in, and it's like, girl, nobody forced you to wear a $200 dress at Venice Beach and then say that social media is fake. That is not how it works. I think you should always do what you love and you should always portray yourself as who you are on social media. What I am going to talk about today is my life and how I don't necessarily think I am goals in the sense that people have been writing in the comments. Honestly, the reason why I'm making this video is I would absolutely hate to kind of start being this person that's like an unattainable goal, that lives this amazing life, that's like so, you know, out of reach, that like people want to be like. That is the last thing that I want. So I decided that what I'm gonna do is kind of open my Instagram and just kind of go through a few photos that I've posted this past year and kind of give you the story of the behind the scenes of what was actually happening in my life, so you kind of know. God, I'm kind of scared to do this because that's a lot of vulnerable information, and for the people that don't like me, it's kind of like giving them a window into my life. But I know there's a lot more of you that do like me, so this is for you. Okay, let's start with this one. Packed my life in 2 suitcases and got a one-way ticket to Europe. See you sometime, LA. It might seem like, oh my god, like and there's so many comments like, I want my life like her, I wish I could do that, that's so amazing, which it really is. Not a lot of people get to do that. It was such an incredible opportunity for me to get out. But the truth is that at that time I was going through a really difficult, painful breakup. Yeah, so for me it was just like I had to get out, I had to leave LA, I had to go and find myself again, and I had to start pretty much all over. So, well, that's a little dramatic. I mean, I have my life together completely. So yeah, I had to go and figure my stuff out, and even though I see all these photos, how cute, little gelato, pizza, ice cream, honestly, I was staying up till 4 in the morning crying, and like I wasn't even like I was just so out of it. Like I wasn't happy at all at the time. I like really, that's why I went on that trip. And then I didn't come back to LA for like 2 months because I needed all that time to recover and to just find myself back again. And now to some of you be like, oh my god, Evelina, there's like people dying of different reasons and you're like suffering because you had a breakup. And this is what I kind of find upsetting about the internet and just in general. I think that you should never discount a person's suffering based that, you know, there's something and somebody in the world that has it worse. Because that's the thing, we as people, as human beings, that's what we do. We can relate to what resonates with us the most. What pains us the most is what personally affects us. So of course, you know, I have a heart for the starving children of Africa, and of course I have a heart for the people that don't have clean water in Haiti. But at the same time, if something happens to me on a personal level that affects me deeply, I'm gonna be sad. And that is probably the truth for most of us human beings, because we are human. And then I went to Moldova for a little bit to see my family, which was really nice because I hadn't seen my dad in 10 years. My parents are divorced, so it was really crazy to kind of see. It's been exactly 10 years since I saw my dad for the first time, so it was really nice. But it was just kind of weird because it's like my family situation kind of sucks, you know, like we have a really tiny apartment where my mom lives, and then my grandma who can't really walk, and then my uncle used to stay there, which my uncle passed away this year. And even though I wasn't too close to him, it was really hard because, you know, my mom lost her brother and my grandma lost her son, and my family's financial situation is zero. Like, you guys don't even understand. I fully support my family. I had to fully cover the funeral. I had to like fully pull out money and give it to them. And I'm not saying that like, oh my god, I'm this like amazing person. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because, you know, these are the things that you guys don't know. You know, it might seem like, oh my god, I'm this like rich girl with designer bags and like fancy trips, but it's like the reality of things, it's not always the way that it seems. I don't know, let's take a recent photo. This one I went out one night with the girls, and it's such a cute photo, you know, it's such a cute little dress and a cute little hat. I'm like sweating because I have all these lights. I came home that night in an Uber really late at night, and I had lost my keys, and I don't know what it was. I think the effects of just like still kind of figuring my life out and like living here alone in LA, and also just like not feeling like I belong a lot of times when I go out with the people that I'm with, and like I just felt so alone. And like it almost like, it sounds dramatic, but like I just felt like, okay, it's just like this is just like not working. Like why do I do this to myself? Why do I go out to these parties and to these things when I literally like this just doesn't feel like me? Along with a few other things, I just like was crying. I was just crying in the Uber the whole time. I came home, I realized I lost my keys. It was like 2 in the morning, and then I had the locksmith come in and unlock my apartment. And I think what I decided is I kind of want to stop just like going out for a while, or at least going out as much as I did, because it's almost like I just like kind of felt lost. You don't, for me, going out and like doing fun stuff like only is meaningful when I'm with people that I really, really love, and we vibe off each other and we have a really good time. But when you just kind of go and there's like the same people and it's always the same thing, but it's like, there's just, I don't see value in it. It was just making me sad. It was putting me down. I would wake up the next day and just like feel horrible. So that's that. So yeah, the bottom line is I really am not perfect. My life isn't perfect. You know, I go through the motions of feeling really insecure. You know, I live in LA, and it's like another thing, people say this all the time. It's like, oh, you moved to LA, you dyed your hair blonde, like you wear contacts, you got your boobs done, like you're so fake. I've been dyeing my hair blonde for like 5 years now, and I've been wearing contacts all the time. So like, how I look has nothing to do with whether the fact I moved to LA or not. But I will tell you this, there is a lot of pressure of looking a certain way and feeling a certain way about yourself, especially you know, in like the Hollywood scene, and which is why I pretty much distanced myself from that. I think it's really hard to put into words and to explain like how I felt for the past year and a half since I've been here. I wrote this little, I have a little diary on my computer, and I write thoughts, or like just like little diary entries, and I kind of wrote this bit, and a little bit of it I posted it on Twitter. You know what's really cool? Acceptance. Whether it's love or friendship, how cool it is to be and be good enough by simply being you. I'm gonna tell you honestly, there's not a lot of people in my life that accept me for just being me and like make me feel like I'm good enough by just being. Like there are people that are always gonna be there no matter what, and I can be myself fully. But I realized that I was striving to be around people that like really didn't give a shit about who I am and what I have to offer. Like I just have to be this persona and like aim to please them and aim to fit in, and I'm done doing that. I just feel like the people that want to be in your life, the people that want to accept you, the people that want to love you are going to be there for you. Fortunately, I do have people in my life that fully accept me and love me for who I am. But you know, being in this Hollywood environment, this is probably the last thing that I've kind of seen happening around. You have to be somebody. You have to be this person. You have to pretend that you're somebody, which I have never done and I will never do. Evelina is all that you're going to get. You know, there's nothing more than that, and what I am is enough. But I just, you know, I just never want to pretend to be somebody in order to be accepted. That is not who I am. That is not what I want. I am not goals. I don't want to be perceived as this like perfect picture of amazing life with a nice car and a beautiful apartment. You know, of course, yes, I worked hard for what I have. I love this place. It doesn't cost nearly as much as you think, by the way. People think that, like, you know, it costs like multiple thousands of dollars to live in here. You can get a pretty nice deal and live in a pretty nice place and, you know, make a pretty decent income without like being overly the top balling, which I am not balling. I'm not swimming in money by any means. I just want to make that clear. If anybody want to label me for the reason as goals, I want those goals to be: go after your dreams, always stay true to yourself, don't take shit from nobody, work hard. Those are the goals that I want people to take away from me, not the goals of this unattainable perfect life. And on that note, I love you guys so much. Bye!